What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today we're going to get ourselves a very cheap full team of the season, well Premier League team of the season card from the SBC. You can see on the screen right now who I'm using. Very easy. I'm using 284s. This guy is untradeable, so I definitely want to use him, and this guy costs us 3.8k. Two Premier League players in there as well. And then it's just like a bunch of cheapies. Now, I bought these players for quite cheap, or Jimenez I didn't actually buy. What's he up to now? Nothing major, still under 3k. You know, this according to Footbin, this SBC is currently 55,000 coins. I'm using my Hoylett Team of the Season card. Hoylett is toilet, so I don't mind getting rid of him for a Pope. Yeah, guys, drop a thumbs up. I'm super excited because depending on who we get here today, I'm then going to go and purchase several other Team of the Season players. I've already bought a major signing for the club, and I've already started to sell off my Team of the Season cards for quite a little bit extra. So a lot of them went for the 37, 38, 39 mark, but then Powell went for 44, Powell went for 44. So we've made some good profit, and I've listed these up at 42s. I hope they go to that price. If not, I'll relist them for 39s and still make some good profit. As I say, I bought one major signing already for the club. I went and bought Paolo Maldini. 880k he cost me. 930k is his minimum right now. So we could make a tiny bit of profit if we sold him. I bought Pope just in case we needed a Premier League team of the season. It turns out we don't. It looks like he's relatively cheap as well. So if I can make a bit of profit on selling him, I will. Let's list him up for 90. If he sells, he sells. If he doesn't, we'll relist him, which is great. And this Bradley Dack, I'm also tempted to sell. Bought him for 28k, and he's probably up at like 45, 47s. Yeah, he is. So we're going to get rid of him as well. Let's pop him up there. Let's go for 48k for Bradley Dack. See if we can get 20k profit on him, which is great. So outside of that, the rest of my team will be genuinely dependent on who this is. Now, there are, of course, a lot of good Premier League Team of the Season cards. I just don't want Pope. Genuinely, any other player there, anyone, will be amazing. I just don't want Pope. Let's see who we get. Come on, EA, hook us up. Don't hook us down. Don't give me English flag, unless it's Kane or Dele Alli or Sterling. Belgian! Oh! I thought it was going to be Lukaku or De Bruyne. Vertonghen's alright. Vertonghen's alright. Vertonghen is alright. It's not amazing. He's one of the worst ones. But it's alright. It's a 92 rated team of the season. He's got good stats. I will play him. We will use him. I might now not get Azpilicueta, who I was going to get, and instead will keep Vertonghen. So that's not too bad, guys. But yeah, I'm going to go and try and find some deals on the players that I want to put into the team. I'm going to be back, guys, with a full squad builder. I will be right back. All right, guys. So Vertonghen was an all right pull. You know, I'm still a little bit umming and ahhing about how good he is. But I've seen, you know, Castro got Pope, Nick got Pope. Like, I've got to be grateful to that degree, right? I've got to be grateful to that degree. I have built a team, as you can see. I've got 27,000 coins left. I've still got a lot of coins worth of stuff in the club. I sold a lot of my Premier League players because they are super heightened in value. It seems like the Team of the Season cards aren't quite up in the 40s yet, so I am going to relist all of these guys back down in the 30s, but that will get me about 500 to 600, maybe even 700,000 coins back. I've got more 84s and 83s and stuff that are up. They should go in due course. We'll find the right path for them for value. So we can get rid of that Mustafi as well. Yeah, we'll find the right path for them in value. And then we've still got like a good 1.5 to 2 million on it, genuinely, sitting in the club. Now, one thing that made me 100,000 coins today is chemistry styles. I invested in a hell of a lot of Hawks. I've still got 42 left. And I invested in a hell of a lot of Anchors. I've only got 9 left. Anchors are currently over 3,000 coins, and I bought them for 1,200 to 1,000 coins, basically. So I listed them all up. Obviously, I wanted to keep some for myself, but during right now, since they are all super expensive, we're going to list all the Anchor Chem Stars up at 3.5k, and I'm actually not gutted per se, but I'm a little disappointed in myself that I didn't go for more. I bought 50 for 1,000 to 1,200. I started selling them at 2,500 and now we've got them up at 3,500. So I've made well over 100,000 coins from those Anchor Chem styles. However, instead of buying 50, if I bought 500, I would have made even more coins. So I'm going to save one Anchor Chem style for myself, just because in case I need it. Now, I don't know if you guys are quite ready for this team. This is what a Road to Glory team should be about. And there you go. There's those anchors selling for 3.5k. This is what a Road to Glory... Well, this is what I've been gearing towards. Now, the fact that we're getting no proper minor league team of the seasons has made me go and do what I've done here. And this is my squad. This is it, boys. Look at this. Now, there is one player here that I overpaid for, and that is Ashley Young. To take you through what I paid and how much they're worth now, because I think it's important to see... David De Gea will come back down when his team of the season is out of packs. But I bought his gold card for 143, and he's currently going for the 91 rated. Is currently going for 170. We have Zanetti first owner. I got Vertonghen first owner, and now we have Paolo Maldini that, as I told you guys before, I bought for 880,000 coins, and his minimum value now is 920,000 coins. I bought Ashley Young for 300,000. I just missed the boat on him. I was debating on whether or not I was going to use Criscito, and then I was debating on whether or not I was going to use Tellez. But I thought, no, you know what? Let's just go all out. Let's just have this team. So Ashley Young cost us 298. He's currently still valued at 300,000, but he went as low as 240. So I missed out quite a bit on him. Hopefully his price doesn't tank too much after this this portion. I bought Ericsson for 350, and at the time of recording this video, maybe it's different by the time you guys are watching this video, but at the time of the recording this video, he's gone from 550 to 570, so he's gone up a little bit there. Nemanja Matic we bought for 270, and he is already right back up at 340, so a huge increase in his value. Ruud Gullit is obviously untradeable. Kevin De Bruyne, we got as low as 858,000 coins. He's currently back up to 920,000 coins, so a massive increase in his value. Heung-min Son, we picked up for 700,000 or 699. He's up to 735 right now, so a nice boost on him. And then Sergio Aguero, we picked up for 1.74 million. He's now 1.9 million. So massive increase on him. Now, of course, some of those guys are going to have... what are they going to have? They're going to have tax losses, and they're going to reduce again in price, I'm sure, when Premier League Team of the Season is out of packs. What I hope for on Tuesday is that we get either one of the players that I've got in the starting 11 or someone that I can replace with someone in the starting 11. So, for example, if we got Dele Alli, I would replace him for Christian Eriksen. If we got Fernandinho, I'd replace him for Nemanja Matic. But this is my team, guys. It's going to look in-game. It's going to look in-game to start with. It's going to look like this. We're going to have Son up there. We're going to have De Bruyne in at cam. And this is going to be my team in-game. And I think if you saw that team, you'd probably poo your pants just a little bit, because that's quite insane. However, I have the luxury of switching to my probably favourite formation this year, the 4-4-2, because we have, fortunately enough, a nice amount of wingers, and the fact that Christian Eriksen is fast enough to be a winger. I don't like, he's not a winger, but he's fast enough to be a winger. And if, you know, I could play De Bruyne at striker because he'll make a great striker, or I could play De Bruyne in midfield, put Matic, and then, you know, sub on Malcolm, Calais-on, Rashford. We've got Kaka to come on as a super sub. I mean, I am so happy with this team, and I'm so glad we saved how we saved, and we waited how we waited, and we're going to play now with this team. We're at 100 fitness on everybody once I apply the fitness card. That'll get everyone up to 99 fitness or whatever. And now, guys, I'm going to go and play until I get frustrated in Foot Champs. I don't know how many Foot Champs games I'll get out, but we're currently 2 wins, no losses. And I'm just going to play it. There's only 12 hours left, or almost 13 hours left, so I genuinely don't know how many I'll get through. But this is what I was waiting for. I was waiting for this squad to play Foot Champs, and now we're going to play Foot Champs. Because if I can't dominate people, unless I match against someone who is as good or much better than me, I shouldn't not win with this team. It's just the way it is. I'm excited to get used to these players, have a feel of these players, and understand their strengths and weaknesses. And so with that being said, guys, let's get into the action. Okay, guys, as we go into the gameplay, what the hell? Why is this starting? Yo, I forgot to put his team in. My bad. I forgot to put this dude's team in. This dude had a team. If you can hear traffic in the background or like birds tweeting and stuff, I apologize. I have to have my window open, dudes. It's so hot out today. And if my window's closed, I'm just too sweaty. So we've got some FUT Champs games here today with the brand new team, the Dream Team. I did make some changes to the team that you'll see at the end of the video. But generally speaking, I was enjoying the gameplay. Now I actually want to talk a little bit about my weekend league experience this weekend, because what you see here is some fun games. I don't know how many we've got here, but spoiler alert, maybe mute if you don't want to hear what my record becomes. But I got to 15-1 with this team, 15-1, and I was really impressed with that. And at 15-1, it was about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd obviously played like 14 or 15 straight games off the back of doing a Division 1 run and some drafts. So I'd actually already played like 25 games, and I was just thoroughly enjoying myself. I then got a disconnect loss to make it 15-2 whilst I was 3-0 up. And then I won a couple more. I got to, I think, 17-3. 17-2 is where I got to, actually, after the DC loss. And then I lost to a top 100 guy called Pav. He's a viewer of the videos. He's like Elite 1 minimum and then in and out of top 100. Kind of like A and I skills, I'd say, you know, in and out of that top 100 level, but minimum Elite 1. And I lost 4-3 in like the last minutes of the game after playing a good game. And I wasn't even frustrated after coming out of that game. I was 17-3, and I was genuinely sat there like, hey, I don't even mind. I'm going to go to 18 wins and I'm going to stop, because it was late, I was tired, I was playing bad. What happened though, in typical weekend league fashion, is the sheer volume of games was just far too much for me, and I ended up going from 17-3, 15-1, 17-3 to 18-7. That's right. I fell apart, and fell apart doesn't even begin to explain or describe it. I genuinely just collapsed, and it was like a little bit of matchmaking. Obviously, the matchmaking changed. I started coming up against much better players and much better teams. You know, I started coming up against full meta teams. I've never seen so many R9s and CR7s in my life as I did last night. Last night in the gameplay. And I was playing fatigued, you know, and I should have just called it a day. You know, I said at the start of this video, I'm just going to play FIFA until I'm not enjoying it anymore. And at 17-3, 17-4, that's when I wasn't enjoying it anymore. And I should have just stopped. But I was sitting there just like, no, just get one more win, man. Just get one more win. And because I was playing tired and I was fatigued from playing so much, and I was coming up against much better opponents, it all like convoluted into that same thing that I don't like about FUT Champs, and reminded me why I stopped playing FUT Champs seriously. And it's because it's just too much in a short space of time. Now, don't get me wrong, this was an extreme. I saved all my games till Sunday night. I didn't save my games till Sunday night. I just didn't start playing until Sunday night. I didn't anticipate to play a lot. But I eventually ended up on 23 wins. I thought to myself, look, let me just try and get elite. I'm still in a good position for elite. I think I finished 23-7 or 23-8. So I still had like many losses left and a few wins to go. And it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was like almost falling asleep trying to play this game. So I won the last game. I was like 22-8 or whatever. I won to go 23-8, and I just decided to call it a day there. I was like, I can't play this game anymore. I'm mentally exhausted. But not only that, I could actually just feel myself playing bad. You know, I was losing games to some good opponents, some good teams, some bad opponents, but I didn't deserve to win any of the games I lost. You know, sometimes I come into FUT Champs and we go into videos and I sit here and I say, oh man, you know, I'm like 29-7, but I should be 34-4. Something, you know what I mean? Like I'm always like, oh, I should be this, I should be that. In this instance, I deserve to be exactly where I was, because I was just playing so basic, so bad, and I could just feel myself not doing the right things. I was making silly passes. I felt like I couldn't touch the ball. I felt like I couldn't attack. I was conceding I went from conceding almost no to 2 goals a game to conceding like a minimum 3 goals a game, because I was just so out of it, man. And I kept using second man press. I just kept going attacking after going 1-0 down, and it was just a bad experience. And yeah, it really just kind of like compounded what I loved about FIFA and FUT Champs to what I hated about FIFA and FUT Champs. Like, I love just playing this game to play this game for fun, and I love playing this game to enjoy my new players and stuff. But I hate being forced to play all my games in a specific time period if I want to get the best rewards. And that's where we ended up. So I ended up getting 23 wins. I found like a new love for playing this game again. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you would have seen my tweets. I found like a new love for wanting to get better at the game again. You know, I sit here and I think to myself like, damn man, like I could have won some of those games. I deserve to lose those games that I lost, but I could have won some of them. like, A, if I just spread my games out through the course of the weekend instead, but B, if I just, change a few things here or there, maybe try and learn a new formation, maybe try and adapt my custom tactics, maybe try and learn how these players perform, or so on and so forth. And so I'm tempted to try and like get back into FUT Champs again heavily for the last 3 weeks before World Cup mode, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. So lots of comments to go through, guys. The first one is from Sanjay Sai. It says, "Hey Nep, what stadium do you use?" I don't know. I actually just got it out of a bronze pack and just added it. I need to change my stadium though, because my stadium's one of those ones that has stupid shadows on it. So I really, really need to change it. But because I don't really play this game much anymore, I never like, I don't really play the gameplay much anymore, and sometimes you're away from home or whatever. I never really sit there and think, oh, I really should change it this time. I just carry on going. Naruto says, "Nep, I got 92 Walker from the EPL Team of the Season pack, but halfway to Prime Zanetti. Do I just ignore Zanetti and maybe invest in a different Prime icon, or because he is so cheap, complete him and to use a different Prime icon?" What I would personally do is complete Zanetti. What I would personally do, dude, is complete Zanetti and play Carl Walker at centre-back on 7 Chem. He will still be insane. That would be me personally, what I would do. Elliot, thank you for the comment, dude. Says, "Hey Nep, I packed Team of the Season Firmino through the SBC. I was elated, as he is 600 to 650k. And now link him up with one to watch Neymar and SBC Promes. Do you think there is EA Team of the Season this year is good? Personally, I love the SBC as it costs 20 to 30k. There's definitely a lot of positives for this Team of the Season. Obviously the SBC is super cheap, especially if you already have a Team of the Season card. You can do it as you did, Elliot, for about 20 to 30k. If you don't have a Team of the Season card, it's like 60k, and I think that's great. I think EA are doing this, though, because I personally believe they're just fully aware that come the World Cup mode, everyone's leaving the regular Ultimate Team game mode, or the majority of the people are. So I think this is EA's way of like saying, hey, have this, come back to our game, get some free Team of the Season players, and then, oh, World Cup mode's here, thank you for still being here. I think it's just a good way to get people to come back and play the game. And I think it's actually a good way to get people to come back and play the game. Like, I think FootSwap was a way that EA were trying to get people to come back and play the game. But FootSwap, for me personally, wasn't like that. I mean, the promo in itself wasn't the worst, but yeah, I think their idea was to get people to come back and play, but I think that these SBCs are better. Now, in terms of the Team of the Season promo, I'm a little bit underwhelmed from it, dude. I would have liked a little bit more from it. Repeatable packs, repeatable upgrade packs. God damn, I've got an eyelash in my eye, apologies. Repeatable upgrade packs. I would have liked to have seen some more in-depth weekly and daily objectives, like geared around Team of the Season stuff. I would have liked to see maybe, through Team of the Season, double coin weekend in divisions, or, maybe a change to FUT draft rewards where you can potentially get a Team of the Season pack, like I would have liked to have seen a bit more to make the grind in every game mode worth it. Maybe a low tier Team of the Season card for squad battles, something like that. But generally speaking, this promo has got me back playing the game. Team of the Season, as I've explained multiple times before, is generally my favourite time of the year. Because all the best players come out from loads of different leagues and we get to experience a lot of players. And although this time around we don't really get to experience as many low-end players as we did before, I've already got an insane team, and I already feel a few upgrades that I want to make to this team. But yeah, I quite enjoy the Team of the Season promo. Murad says, isn't this the same gameplay as yesterday? And K Ray says, you did all this yesterday on stream, why is it so far behind? Talking about yesterday's video, of course. So like through talking to people through streams and videos and stuff, I streamed on my main account, I streamed my objectives, and it's because I just wanted to stream. And so I said to people, like, during streams, during Fortnite streams and during videos and stuff, is that I can stream, but I need to stream FIFA to record it for the second channel. And everyone was like, okay, that's great. So if you was in the stream and then you came to the Road to Glory to watch it, you should probably know that going forwards, anything that I stream on the Road to Glory account will also be recorded for video purposes and will become a video. And so for you, K-Ray, and for the previous commenter, imagine you missed the stream and then I just carried on without uploading that as gameplay. A lot of people would be like, well, hold on, what happened here? I thought, like, where did he get this from? Where did he get that from? So I have to also turn it into video purposes. So the alternatives are either not streaming at all, or streaming Fortnite, really, because I want to obviously grind the Road to Glory and I want to stream, but the options aren't necessarily always there to stream good stuff. Tosh Solicitors, let me go through it. I've got a few comments I want. 64 Ahmed says, Nep, don't you think FIFA Mobile represents Ultimate Team better than itself? Hope to hear your opinion. I think Ultimate Team's got a lot of good things about it. Ultimate Team's system is just way different because it's not really online play. The FIFA Mobile system can be different. You're able to upgrade players in FIFA Mobile. When you play against somebody, you don't actually play against them, you play against the AI version of their team. And so the fact that it's all offline means that they have scope to do a hell of a lot more than Ultimate Team does. But yeah, there's a lot within FIFA Mobile that is great, that I would love to see in FIFA, but it would require dramatic changes to the Ultimate Team structure, and I don't think that will happen. And there was a comment that kind of like compounded why, and it's from JD. He says, it's all good saying what we want and what should be implemented. The more people keep pumping money into FIFA points, they won't do much. They will do the bare minimum needed to keep us interested by adding a couple new features, but at the end of the day, it's all about profit to them. Until another game can rival FIFA, sadly, it won't change. And that's also my opinion, you know, until something dramatic happens to in a negative sense for FIFA itself, they won't make dramatic changes. They won't like restructure this whole game or this whole game mode until there's a very good reason to do so. Like, sure, they'll keep upgrading it, bits here and bits there, but until they have like a real good reason to say, okay, we need to start from the bottom again, start from scratch and just rebuild this game from absolutely nothing, until something massive happens that requires that, they're just not going to do that. So yeah, there's a lot of things I would love to see in this FIFA, or in FIFA in general, but whether or not they come will depend on the big wigs at EA. And speaking of, like, you know, we were speaking yesterday in yesterday's video about you know, the fact that there is some content in this game, and you know, maybe it's just the wrong content and stuff. But one of the things that I didn't mention in yesterday's video that I felt was important is that one of the things that FIFA lacks massively is cooperative play. I know you can play co-op seasons, and I know you can play clubs, which is a game mode that for me personally has an insane amount of potential that is just never ever touched. But what this game misses is being able to play with your friends in Ultimate Team unless they are sat next to you. And even then, you can't play FUT Champs with them. It would be so much more fun to have a competitive game mode that allows a second person, maybe with not the rewards of FUT Champs or whatever like that, because I would love to play games with my friends in FIFA, in Ultimate Team, and I just can't. And that's one of the things I think why games like Fortnite and COD and stuff like that just take over, or specifically the free-to-play games like Fortnite. One of the reasons why they do so well is because it doesn't matter if you're on mobile, console, or PC, you can play with your friends anytime you want in their game modes. And I think that's great, and I think that's something that FIFA misses. And what I would love to see, again, this is something I would love to see, it's half irrelevant to even talk about it because it'll probably never happen, not at least in the next few years. But I would love to see, first and foremost, I'd love to see like guest mode enabled, even to the point in divisions and drafts. You know, you already have guest mode in divisions and draft, but I want to be able to play with Nick, or with AA, or with Bateson, or with Marshall, or with a viewer. I want to be able to play with you guys in draft, in divisions, in FUT Champs, or in whatever game mode is possible, and you just can't do it. You literally just can't do it. Unless you're actually sat in my home next to me, you just can't do it, and that's really sad. Outside of that, I would really love to see a five-a-side game mode in Ultimate Team that could go one of two ways. You could just use your Ultimate Team players, or you could use custom, like your own pro, like with clubs, where you use your own guy that gets upgraded and stuff. But how cool would like a five-a-side indoor game mode be, where you could just go in, play with your friends, play other five-a-side stuff, and just have fun? I think that sort of stuff, like bringing a cooperative or social aspect to the game, is something that I think EA should really focus on, because there's nothing more lonely than just playing FIFA on your own. You know, it is such a lonely world playing FIFA on your own. I've been playing this game, I mean, I've been playing this game since I was like 10, 12 years old, but like, you know, a good 20 years. In fact, FIFA 98 was the first FIFA that I played. Not the first football game that I played. I played International Superstar Soccer Pro on the Sega Mega Drive back in the day. And I played, remember the arcade soccer, the World Cup, oh man, World Cup Italia I think it was, which might have been a FIFA game actually. But I used to play like the games in arcades, the FIFA games in arcades. We were never you know, rich enough to afford a console, even like an Atari or whatever, to play a game on. But you know, FIFA 98 was my first ever game, and I've kind of like stuck with FIFA for the most part throughout there. There was a period of a few years where PES was just a better game. PES 4, 5, and specifically PES 6 was great. But when the PlayStation 2 came out, PES died. PES 6 was great on PS1. PES never recovered from the console changes. PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and now PlayStation 4, FIFA has just dominated. So since I feel like about FIFA 08, you know, FIFA has just been the driving force of football games. So for like the last 10 years, FIFA has just been there. And you know, I played this game for a long time, many years of my life, and specifically since FIFA 11, since becoming a content creator and a YouTuber, I've played mostly only this game for a long time, and it is genuinely a lonely game. It's really like, it's so sad because you just can't play with your friends unless you play a game mode that is just unrewarding. Which is quite sad. The Joffinator says, "Hey Nep, do you think the overpowered players in normal FUT mode, such as Martial Son by Jesus, be just as overpowered in the World Cup mode? Love the vids, keep up the amazing work." I mean, I don't really know. From what I remember of the FIFA 14 World Cup, the gameplay was like quite different, you know, so I don't really know what we're getting in terms of gameplay. You know, I don't know if it'll be the same, if it'll be different. Like, we're just going to have to wait and see. And I'm sure you'll get reviews and players and stuff like that will be sick. Ross James says, "I'd love to see contract system like Black Ops. Buy a contract with coins, complete the objectives, scale with the price difficulty, and claim the rewards. Make rewards much better than weekly objectives as well." And he carried on. But yeah, I've talked about this before, Ross James, and I absolutely agree. A contract-style system like Black Ops has in FIFA would be insane. You know, you get to pick as many or as few as you want based on your EASFC points. You know, I've got like over 100,000 of them, maybe even over 200,000 of those EAFCC points in my club. You could use those to buy contracts. Those contracts give rewards. You've got to complete challenges within time limits and so on and so forth. And again, it would just add a more enjoyable, grindy element to the game. Whether or not we see something like that, I don't know. Hydro Gaming says, "Hey Nev, I was wondering why sometimes you pause the game after you concede. Is it to change tactics or to help you calm down on a mental level?" More often than not, just to change tactics. I typically start with the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. If like, I don't always do it after I concede either, but if I'm struggling to break my opponent down and then they score, I'll switch to the 4-4-2 because it's just it's a little bit more aggressive offensively. Of course, it's a little less reliable defensively because you lose that CDM. But because you have so much width and the crossing techniques in this game are so overpowered, like if I go 1-0 down or sometimes 2-0 down, like if I go 1-0 down and I feel like I'm creating a lot of chances in the 4-1-2-1-2, I'll just stay in the 4-1-2-1-2, I won't change. But if I go 1-0 or 2-0 or 3-0 down in the 4-1-2-1-2 and I'm not creating chances, I'll switch out straight away to the 4-4-2. So I did have a couple more comments, but sadly we are gearing towards the end of the gameplay. A few of the teams that I beat were really good. The one game that we did lose, I went 3-0 down and I did switch into the 4-4-2. I pulled it back to 3-3, but sadly I was unable to hold on. You know, I created more than enough chances to get back in and win the game, but of course my opponent was a good player with a really good team, and he eventually created a few chances of his own. And he stole the game there. And that was one of those games where at 1-0 down, I probably should have switched formation then, and I might not have gone 2 or 3-0 down. I might have got back in and won it a little bit easier. And at 2-0 down, I should have switched, but I waited until 3-0 down before I switched. And eventually in this game as well, I was like 4-2 up, 5-3 up. He pulled it back to 5-5. I eventually scored that corner goal to make it 6-5 and win the game, which I think puts me to 12-1 or something after this set. Like I said, we end up going to 15-1. And then 17-3, and I finished on 23 wins. So not a bad weekend league, guys, but this is going to be the end of the gameplay. Let's go live. Alright, guys, so to end that gameplay session, fantastic, first of all. 12-1. I know, of course, we're playing late on a Sunday, so the quality of opponent is even less so than normal, but still, I came up against a couple of really good players and 3 or maybe even 4 really good teams. We did end up picking up one loss. We went 3-0 down to a guy. I changed formation. I got back into it at 3-3. Sadly, he was competent enough to be able to create chances. Even at 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, he was just whoring the possession, trying to see the game out. Of course, when you come up against a team like what I've got, that doesn't surprise me. And then when he went 4-3 up, it was late already in the day, and you know, just held the possession. So fair play to him. I wish I changed my formation against him at 1-0 or 2-0 rather than at 3-0. And actually his first goal came from a mistake from me. I had like a free kick with my goalkeeper, and this game is stupid in these instances. I tried to just pass it to my centre-back, and of course I passed it straight to him. He broke off of that and scored. I wish it would just give you a few more options in those roles. You'll notice a change in the team. We bought Roberto Firmino for 690,000, and I'll tell you why. Aguero was good, but I was sitting there thinking he's not 1.7 million coins good. He's just not. 1 million coins, sure. 1.2 million coins, sure. 1.7 or what I sold him for, which was, as you can see, all these Team of the Season cards. I reduced the price on these guys just to get rid of them. I sold him for almost 1.9. We bought him for 1.74, I believe. So we actually made 30 to 40,000 coins profit off of him, which is great. So we can clear all that off. And I literally just sold him because, as I say, I was kind of like playing with him, thinking like, this isn't what I want. This isn't what I need. This isn't good enough. So I went and got Firmino, and in the few games that he played, he was fantastic. 4 goals and 3 assists in the 2 games, and one of those games was a rage quit. But the best player in this team by a country mile is this guy right here. Not only is he the best player in this team, he is just the best player I have used in this game. The way he runs, his positioning, the way he shoots, the 5-star weak foot. I mean, you can tell it's not just goals either. It's 17 goals and 7 assists in the 11 games. And of those 11 games, I think at least 7 or 8 of them were rage quits. So imagine if they were all full games. He might have had 30 or 40 goals with 20 assists, you know. He was great. This team in general is great. I'll tell you who I was really impressed with as well. This guy right here, Ashley Young. Yep, he's right-footed, but he's got a 3-star weak foot, which is okay. And I find him to be very good. I think this is probably the best team I've ever had on FIFA throughout any year of FIFA, and this is on a road to glory. The next upgrade is going to be David De Gea. I do want to get David De Gea's Team of the Season card just to improve this area as well. And then after that, we'll wait to see what we get in the Team of the Season EPL pack on Tuesday. And then I don't know what I'm going to do with Vertonghen. He's good, man. He's good. You know, I know he's like not rapid, and I've got an anchor, not even a shadow on him, but he's very good. I like him a lot. Maldini I like a lot. Matic, I love this Matic card. He's been impressive in a CDM role. You know, Hullet, Eriksson, De Bruyne, Firmino. Like, this team is so good. And then my bench is so good. And I've got 2 million coins in coins and about 1 million coins in other areas of the club with all the informs and, you know, that Path to Glory Higuain and Path to Glory Anthony Martial and a couple of informs, like we got Delict and Tellez. We've got that Aki inform. Like, I mean, look at this. It's a club full of cards still. Yet there's nowhere really, there's no like immediate section of my squad that I look at and think I need to upgrade this. I might try Fernandinho instead of Matic, but Matic is doing a job. And so yeah, like genuinely going from De Gea to an upgraded version of De Gea is probably the next thing on the list for me. And if we actually look at David De Gea, let's take a look at what his, I think he's around the 800,000 mark, I believe. Maybe, if I see one for like 850 or less, I might just pick it up. Oh wow, I'm like well off the mark. I am well off the mark. Can we get him 800? Jesus. 788 for the Team of the Year De Gea, which has more diving but less reflexes, more kicking but less positioning, same speed, less handling. The Team of the Season De Gea is the better card. I'm blown away by how cheap, not cheap that is, but what do we think? Do we think his card's going to come down in value? Do we think it's going to stay here with the value? Like, I could quite comfortably go and get this and just really, really compound how good my team is. It would leave us with 1 million coins, give or take, for all the SBCs and all the new Team of the Seasons that are coming out. I don't know. Well, I'll let you guys decide in the comment section what you think I should do with that. But this, guys, is going to be the end of the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.